Hey folks, how you all doing? I got a question. It's all about water. Today's video is about water. What sort of water should we be drinking for eczema healing? Should we be drinking distilled water? Is tap water okay? Should we move to the mountains and only drink glacial water for true eczema healing? Let's get into it. Well, I guess the first thing to talk about is tap water because it's virtually a free resource for most of us. And if we can possibly get away with drinking tap water, then it's going to make this whole process so much more convenient. Well, some of you will be surprised to hear that I don't actually think that there's a whole heap wrong with tap water. I think the main challenges with tap water are the chemicals that your local supplier adds to the water. So some of you know I used to be a water treatment engineer, and the local water suppliers in most boroughs, in most water supply zones around westernized countries will add either chlorine or fluoride or some of both and a few other little nasties that they feel they need to put in to make the water clean and safe for human consumption. And a lot of the time they do this just to cover themselves. They do it to cover themselves from being sued should anything actually go wrong further down the line, but usually it's just belt and braces, safety precaution. In an ideal world, we should be able to have the option of not having chemicals in our water from the water supplier so that they filter it, bacterially treat it physically, either with UV light or bacterial filtration of some kind, and then just send the water to us and let us add in our own chemicals. And in some countries of the world, mainly in developing countries of the world, that's what happens. You have to take care of your own water treatment. And I like that. I like the freedom that that gives. However, we don't have that, most of us, in westernized countries. So what should we do? Well, the best thing that you can do with tap water is filter it for chlorine. Most water supply zones will add chlorine. So you can get a chlorine filter, which looks like this. And you can add that to your shower head if you just want to filter the shower water. You can get one like this that goes under your sink in your kitchen just to filter the tap water that's coming to one tap in your house. That can be quite a good solution to get out most of the nasties, and some of the cheaper ones that you find on Amazon will work. One of the key points to mention here is I healed my eczema on about 50% tap water. I was drinking unfiltered tap water 50% of the time when I was healing my eczema. I did have a water softener and I did have a chlorine filter on my shower head, but that was just for what was physically coming into contact with my body. I just felt like it was less irritating to have that on the surface, but the water that you put on the surface of your skin isn't really going to make or break your healing process. It's more about what you're drinking, what you're actually taking into your body that becomes you, that's more important. So yeah, for the healing process, 50% of the time I was drinking tap water, the other 50% of the time I was drinking bottled water. Yes, I was going to the store and I was buying plastic bottles. Terrible for the environment, but that was the best I knew how to do at the time. I think if I had my time again now, what I would probably do is get myself a decent, more robust filter for the house and put that on the incoming main to the house, plumb it in, and so that it filters most of the nasties out of the water. So the chemicals that are added, those are the main things that you need to get rid of. The things that are inherently there because of the type of rock strata in your area. So if you live in a hard water area and you've got more calcium, magnesium in the water, I don't really think you need to worry too much more about that. It may make a slight difference, and maybe it's something you can do to experiment. Go to a soft water area, which will most probably be a more mountainous area, and see the difference. But honestly, I think it's the added chemicals that are the problem. So if you can get a filter that gets rid of the chemicals that are added, that is going to be where most of the gains are made with any sort of water filtration equipment. You can take it a step further. You can put a reverse osmosis system in. You can distill the water. You can filter it to a biological level if you want to. But I actually think there is a law of diminishing returns when you do this. So what do I mean by that? I mean, the more you filter, actually you're not really getting as much benefit from spending all that more money and effort to do that. I think just a basic filtration system is fine. It's what you need. In actual fact, and this is a story from when I was working in water treatment, we had a well-known chef, Heston Blumenthal, who bought some equipment from us for his kitchen, and it removed all of the minerals from the water. And what actually happened is he ended up returning the product because it was removing too much from the water, and the food that he was cooking didn't have the taste that he wanted, because having minerals in the water creates a certain effect into food when you cook. And it also works really well for steam ovens and other specific types of cooking where you actually need some mineral content in the water. Also for things like humidifiers, you need some, for a lot of them work because of conductivity, because of mineral content in the water. You actually need that there. So in summary, all I think you really need is a water filter like this on your incoming main, or on the pipe that feeds your kitchen taps. You've got at least one good source of water that you can drink in the house, or a water filter like this that goes on your shower head, or you could even use both. And the one on the shower head will just be removing mainly the chlorine, maybe some small amounts of other chemicals as well, so that you're protecting yourself from added chemicals in water, and that might help to subside some of the irritation you're getting from water that comes in contact with you. There are a couple of affiliate links to these products that I've shown here below. Amazon US and Amazon UK stock these products. There's absolutely no obligation for you to buy these specific ones, but these are the ones that I've used in the past, and because I have the actual testing equipment from working in water treatment, I can prove that they do what they say on the tin. They do actually remove the chlorine from the water, which can be surprising because they're pretty inexpensive units. So any other questions that you have about water treatment, I can most probably answer because of the years that I spent, the training that I've done in the industry, and any more general questions you have surrounding eczema, eczema healing, natural skin condition reversal, let me know in the comment section down below. We'll see you again in the next video.